What happening? Good morning. It's 10:25 a.m. Hope y'all doing all right. But I hit this gym. I just woke up not too long ago, honestly. I got to sleep in late today, thankfully. I don't happen too often. At least, actually sleeping through the night. I might get up late, but I don't usually get to actually sleep late. I take my ritual pre-workout. What up, iWriter Tavia? And everybody, Melissa _baby43, Miss Boku. Where y'all tuning in from? Where y'all at? Chicago, Dallas. What up, Jeremy Kofi? What's happening? Atlanta, Detroit. Everywhere we going on tour. Cool. We'll be in Houston on the 27th and Dallas on the 28th. Anybody see my most recent post? Oh, I just drank pre-workout. I'm about to get in the gym. I'm waking up though, so I gotta get some oomph. I'm coming to Philly too. Anybody see my most recent post? All right. For those who didn't, I'll try to sum it up as quickly as possible. It's really difficult. It was a post about it being hard, more difficult for men to not cheat. Why is it so difficult for men to be faithful? I think the name of it is. And it was inspired by, first off, I had a conversation. For those who don't know, I have a private community that I do live Q&As, not just like a rant like this, but Q&As every single week. It's called Self-Crown. The link is in my bio. And we go real in depth. We get to really chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But I kept it kind of top level because the topic resurfaced again on Instagram about why is it difficult for a man to just be faithful. When I posted two brothers and I was saying, they basically were saying, hey man, your videos help me in managing to be faithful and blah, 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 blah. People were talking crazy in the comment section about it. They act like it's so tough. So I did a video. This time, because most times on this topic, because I know it's an emotional topic, I know it's a triggering topic, and I know most times the topic is mishandled, so the moment people even hear the topic, they shut down. Typically, when we get on this whole, it's difficult for a man to be faithful topic, I always say, well, since it's so difficult, don't get into a relationship until it's not difficult. Just leave it there. Just leave it there, because neither side typically wants to actually dig through. Now, since this conversation was inspired by a community I can go in depth with, I decided to share a couple of things on that in-depth conversation. And basically, in a nutshell, was that if you're talking, most people always say this, biologically. Men are biologically at a disadvantage when it comes to being faithful. I don't think that's true. I do think that men are at a quote-unquote disadvantage, but culturally speaking, and not only that, despite any cultural disadvantage, any disadvantage period, we still have the responsibility to do the right thing. We still have the responsibility to get it right before we get into a relationship. We still deserve to face consequences should we not get it right before we get into a relationship. And most importantly, it's not on the woman to blame herself whenever a guy doesn't do her right or cheats or whatever, because it was on us to get it right before we got into a relationship. Now, that was, in a nutshell, the video. But again, I immediately recognized some people, a lot of people, most people totally, got it. There's some people I could tell did not watch past the first 60 seconds of the video. The reason why I say that is because they reiterated exactly what I said, not because they disagreed. They literally verbatim repeated what I said, that there's no excuse for a man to cheat. But I want to share one interesting perspective, and I love this perspective on the video. Woman was like, you know what? It's difficult for both men and women to not cheat. Women actually, it's probably more difficult because they get more options. Not only more options, women get tired of the same old dick, same old conversation, basically they want something new as well, right? People need to stop treating men like 2-year-olds. I hate that I'm misquoting her. It was a great perspective, contrary to mine, but I liked it. This is why I liked it. Not because, actually I saw that in the meme before, and a lot of people were repeating that same fucking meme that went viral about 2 months ago saying, oh, women have it really difficult. But because it represents where a lot of people are at. So let's get this straight. It ain't up to external stimuli of the moment, whether or not anybody's faithful. It's 100% challenging for both sides to be faithful and to stick to something and to stay committed and, saying to find new life in the same old thing over and over and over again. That's 100% true. But one thing that I appreciated about this, because it gives me an opportunity to address that a lot of women go into dating situations looking at things through their heart and their values. So that's why a lot of women get hurt. You go on the dating scene saying, if I say something, I mean it. If I make a commitment, that's what it is. If I spend this amount of time with somebody, that means that person means something to me. And there's certain things I just won't do. And because you're looking at it through your value system, you don't consider that everybody ain't like you. Everybody ain't built like you. Everybody wasn't groomed like you. So when it comes to the dating situation, when a woman says, when I make a commitment, I keep it and whatever, regardless of what comes my way. You're not dealing with people that were culturally groomed the same way that you were, that were conditioned the same way that you were. You're dealing with guys who honestly, it's not like 2-year-olds, because 2-year-olds shouldn't meet the same consequences as an adult. But in some ways, we are 100% immature. We are 100% left behind. We're really crippled by our privilege in that area. The thing is, that conversation has always been used to justify men's actions. I don't think it should be justified at all. I think that's for men to understand, you know what? Because I've been culturally groomed in this way, let me make sure I put additional focus and attention on getting right before I get to saying, hey, lady, give me your heart. I'm ready for it. And the same thing goes like, okay, let's say we just take sex out of it for a second. Let's say you're talking about a blue collar worker, right? I don't know. People know Mexicans. I don't really want to bring race into it, but think of a hard working culture. Hard-working, blue-collar culture. You were raised up in that. Whenever you become an adult, if you got to do some back-breaking manual labor, it's going to be difficult for you. It's hot outside, your back hurt, you're tired, but you get it done. That's all you've ever seen is hard fucking work. Whereas you get one of these Beverly Hills, silver spoon, affluent people that never had to lift a finger for anything, had butlers and maids all their life, you get them out there to go do the same work. What's going to happen? They're probably going to have a much harder time, right? Their privilege weakened them. Their affluence weakened them, crippled them. Now, is that an excuse for them not to work hard? No. It's not an excuse. They don't work, you don't eat. Fuck it. But they damn sure ain't built for this the same way that you are. But it's challenging for both. It's really similar when it comes to dating and relationships. It's like we both have a challenge in sticking with one thing and all that other stuff. But culturally, women have been groomed to be blue-collar workers when it comes to sexual discipline. Y'all urges and everything else has been tied into y'all identity to be conservative, to not act on impulse. So you're going to see dudes that you want to fuck and all that other kind of stuff, but guess what? You've also been groomed to build the muscle in that area. Whereas for men, we have been left very sexually undisciplined, immature, underdeveloped. So that's the reason, for one, why I do what I do. Hopefully I can help change this culture. But two, I still press upon the individual responsibility to get that shit right before you get into a relationship and to not give excuses. You see, whenever you're looking at it from both sides, like when that man come to you and he say, you know what, I apologize for cheating on you. I apologize for doing you wrong after he's cheated on you. A lot of women still think through their own value system and say, you know what, if he's apologizing, he did something he didn't mean to do, they think about it as if they did it. If you had cheated or something like that, it'd be a one-time thing. You say you're going to stop, you're going to fucking stop. What I'm saying is men know it is a whole different set of things he got to accomplish before he can effectively be faithful. So in that case, it would be preventative for you to understand that so you don't get hurt dealing with somebody who has not taken the steps, who has not overcome that discipline curve. That makes sense to anybody, man. I know. What the fuck was that? Oh, is that my bottle? I explained the best I could. Again, this is one of those conversations, man. Once you start peeling back layers, man, guards go up, emotional guards go up, triggering guards go up. People just tune the fuck out. But I don't want, like, again, I don't want this whole, it's men at a disadvantage to be like, oh, have more sympathy on us when we cheat. Give us more of a pass. No. Hold us to the exact same standard. Because didn't nobody put a gun to our head and make us get in a relationship. Didn't nobody do that. Hold on. Somebody said, name the things you're tuned in. We address all of that. Narcissism versus immaturity, all of that. If this is again the problem with saying, you know what, nope, we on the same playing field. We exactly the same. We've been culturally groomed the exact same way. Again, whenever that guy's telling you something, you're not even going to assess him by the right metrics. Because you're going to be thinking about how you would be assessed in his situation, in his shoes. You're not going to assess him by the metrics of, oh, he needs more time. I need to see more consistency in his whole entire life, that he's grown and matured and he's developed discipline across the board that's going to translate into the relationship. Like, it's a whole different system for evaluating a man than it would be for you. Yeah, for you, whenever on this topic, whenever you say something, that's what it is. Because you've already developed that muscle to support whatever your intentions are. But I'm not going to stay on it too long, man. Somebody says, okay, so y'all get it. I'm glad. Again, I even tried to condense it, and it was still 6 minutes. We able to go a lot more in depth on Self-Crowned, man. Selfcrowned.com is a website. People want to join that private community where we have these types of conversations way more in depth. Just go to selfcrowned.com. Let's see here. Brown Goddess says you have to understand where he is coming from before you can speak. If you ever can speak on this action, for sure. And now when I say understand where he's coming from, like, again, a lot of times the context gets blurred. Don't understand where he's coming from in terms of giving him more leniency. Understand where he's coming from so you can take the most effective next step. So I understand, like, sometimes guys don't even understand. There's a lot of dudes that hit me up and say, man, you taught me a lot about myself with that one. A lot of guys genuinely in their heart of hearts believe because they said it right then and there, they're going to be able to stick to it. It's like, no, you didn't prepare for this moment. You didn't prepare for this relationship. That's why you're not ready. Not because you in your mind don't think, like, if you don't prepare for a marathon, you can with all your heart and soul want to run that marathon. Guess what? Your ass ain't been running. You ain't in shape. You ain't gonna make it at 26 miles. Let's see here. Jocelyn Sinuan says, even if men are married, the women still follow. I'm not understanding what that meant. Somebody said, what about Nigeria? I don't know what y'all talking about, Nigeria. Smoking Cillian says, if a man cheats more than once, is he ever going to change? That is literally what I was explaining this whole time. Probably you missed it. Let's just say you missed it. Is he ever going to change? You need to assess that by, one, you don't have an obligation to assess shit, right? If you don't want to give him another chance, he ruined the first chance. You have every right to say, fuck you. You'll have another chance with somebody else, maybe. I don't know, but not me. Let me get that clear. Secondly, is he ever going to change? You assess that by where he's at in his pursuit of becoming the man that he's trying to be in other areas. And if he's had enough time to develop. If you feel like he's had enough time and you've seen enough evidence of him developing, is he ever going to change? Is he making any progress? Has he been making any progress? And not just progress and, like, improvement, because, like, improvement can be, instead of fucking 2 girls, he fucked 1. So we're not just talking improvement. But have you seen that he's met that threshold to now where he fully understands himself, his weaknesses, what environments he can't go in? He's developed a discipline in order to be faithful consistently, flawlessly. That's what you would measure by. Not just, oh, if he did it once, he's going to do it again, or twice, he's going to do it again. He will if he's not making any progress. Let me see. I'm staying on topic. I'm going to stay on this topic. Like I said, I don't really do Q&As until we go on self-crown. Self-crown is where I do all my Q&As for real, but we'll stay on topic here. It seems like something changed from extreme ultimatums. I don't even think that. It's not the extreme ultimatums that ever change a man. That's an external circumstance. Again, that may trigger a temporary new action, but if that man is actually changing, it's because he's been putting in the work, and he's still putting in the work, and now it's starting to bear fruit. It's not the ultimatum that did it. So in that moment, you might see different actions, but an inside-out change, that subconscious change, an association with certain things that he wants to do change, that takes time, and that's an internal thing. That man has to be already on that. Let's see. What is the best way to meet? Man, how do you join Self-Crown? Selfcrown.com. The link is in the caption. Link is in my bio, sorry. Link is in my bio, selfcrown.com. I should have put that on here and pinned it, but let's see. How do you get over him? I talk about all that on selfcrown.com as well. So to those that are confused, this is very helpful. I'm glad. All right, well, I'm going to get up out of here. Pre-workout's getting to me. We do live chats every Monday, Q&As, man. This is where we really get to break stuff down, because that crowd is just, that came for that conversation. It's just a different vibe, man. So the link is in the bio if you want to be a part of my private community. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be good. Peace.